Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. I have a level 10 linked video today on a very old and quite a special unit to me. Now there's no like sentimental value, Janemba's not like one of my favourite characters, it's just at one point when this EZA come out, I thought he was like one of the best EZAs in the entire game. And that was a few years ago. So I'm actually looking forward to this one. The only thing, as you can see there's level 10 links. The only thing with this, or kind of Janemba units in general, which, to be fair, there's actually not that many. There is 4? I mean, if you don't include the SR, there's 4. And I don't have LR Janemba. And then there technically is only 3 Super Janembas that, again, don't include SRs. But the only thing is, to get all of his links active, we do need to wait for this guy to transform, which shouldn't be too difficult if we just hit him in slot 1. And then we just need him to receive 5 or more attacks. So that shouldn't be difficult. Then he's perfectly linked with the Tech Janemba transformed. Other than that, Janemba doesn't share that many links with a lot of the units that he actually shares the majority of links with on the same categories. So for example, he shares the only unit or movie bosses he shares apart from himself a lot of the same links with, which is 5 links, is like Android 13. Then he shares like 5 links with the Hellfighter 17, then like Omega Shenron, and they don't go on any of the same teams currently. So it's a bit like, So, you know, the best way to actually link him is always going to be this Janemba here, and you know, I've talked about so many times how bad this Janemba is designed. Especially because you need to keep them, or at least one of them if you're running dual leads. You need at least one untransformed. And then the whole thing with orbs is just a pain when you need guard, etc. And then when he transforms, you lose out on a massive portion of his defense, and it's a bit of a mess. But before we do hop into it, if you could do me a huge favor, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, that'd be very much appreciated. But let's hop in and see what this classic EZA INT Janemba can do. Okay, so we do have immediately the rotation I actually want, which is him with this Janemba, which we actually do share quite a few links with this Janemba. It is 4 links. We also do have support from the Turles straight away. So right now, if we have him in the middle, which I'm gonna do because that will get us 2 out of the 5 attacks we need. We do have Big Bad Bosses active, which at level 10, Big Bad Boss is like one of the best links in the whole game. Losing that 80% HP restriction is great. Getting attack and defense plus 25% is huge for extreme units. We also have Metamorphosis, Nightmare, Fierce Battle, and Brutal Beatdown if we keep him in the middle with Turles, which means we got the 25% attack and defense from Big Bad Bosses. Metamorphosis is recover 5% HP and attack and defense plus 10%. So that's an extra 35% on our attack and defense. Brutal Beatdown is an extra attack plus 15% on top of that. So that's what? Like 50% attack and then 35% defense. Then we have, was it Nightmare? Yeah, Nightmare, an extra attack plus 15%. And then we also have Fierce Battle, which is giving us an extra attack plus 20%. So we're on like something ridiculous right now. We're on like 70% attack upward, which is pretty good. I mean, which is also very helpful because this is quite an old EZA. So he's only getting attack and defense plus 70%. And then not only that, he does, for 1 turn, after evading, get an additional attack plus 40% for 4 turns when guard is activated. So guard activated against all attacks, which is the main reason why he's still viable today, because he guards at all times. And then a medium chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack for 1 turn, and additional attack plus 40% for 4 turns when guard is activated. So of course we're going to need to get that off, but we're not going to get the guard active before he super attacks unless I do this, but I kind of need you to start taking attack. So we're on a 319k attack stat, which is pretty impressive, again considering how old this EZA actually is. And he also has 116k defense. Again, we don't even have the extra attack plus 40% right now, but we are getting the extra attack plus 40% from the support with Turles right now. So there's the 2 attacks we want out of the full 5. 3.1 mil. Now that is with the majority of his links active. He is missing what? Fear and Faith and Shocking Speed. So he isn't actually missing out on any attack links right now. And that is with support, but that is with without the extra attack plus 40%. it's not bad. It's not bad. You know, his damage isn't going to be ridiculous. It's not going to be, you know, super OP. It's not going to be like, you know, 5, 6, 7 million plus. Like, it's just not. As I said, this EZA is quite old at this point. And one of the main reasons why you bring this Janemba, still to this day, is he guards all attacks, which is obviously, I've mentioned numerous times in actually quite a few recent videos that defense is so incredibly valuable in Dokkan nowadays with, you know, the harder events hitting so hard. And, you know, damage, yes, damage is always going to have some importance, but it's not as important as basically surviving. So, you know, the main reason you do bring this EZA INT Janemba a lot of the time nowadays is purely for the guard. So, you know, doing, you know, a 3.1 million attack stat with support, it's not bad. It's not bad. Again, it is quite an older EZA. It's not bad. On top of the fact that he is so good defensively because of his guard being active at all times, or active against all attacks, you know, it's still pretty good. The only thing is, when linked with this Janemba, he's lacking some of his key links, which, as you can see there, at some points could actually be an issue, especially when this Janemba needs orbs and needs, I think, like rainbow key spheres as well. So that is kind of like a minor issue. So without the support, we still do have a 332k attack stat, 120k defense. We might actually have, no, we do have the additional attack plus 40% for 4 turns, because of course we had the guard active and now it's starting. So that is still a pretty decent attack stat to have at the start of turn. We're going to get another 2 attacks off on the tech transforming Janemba, which means we only need 1 more and he's going to transform, which is handy. Good thing we have type advantage on this turn, otherwise that might have done a bit of damage because we literally gave him a single key sphere. As I said, that Janemba's designed so poorly. 3.2 mil. So as long as, if you have the attack plus 40% active, which is very easy to come off, like if you're using him in a normal scenario, a normal environment, you know, you've taken him into GT Goku event, Vegeta event, SBR, ESBR, wherever it is, and you've brought him, since he has the guard active against all attacks, and not only that, also has a medium chance of evading enemies' attacks for 1 turn, which dodge and guaranteed guard is huge. By the way, defensively, that is great. It's amazing. Not that he necessarily needs the dodge, but it's still there. You know, it helps you, you know, stop taking a little bit extra damage. But that's so easy to get off. You know, getting the additional attack plus 40% for 4 turns is so easy to get off, because with a unit that has a medium chance to guard, more importantly, the guard, a medium chance to evade, but having the guard activate against all attacks, you know, you're going to be putting them in, you know, slot 1 when there's a plethora of attacks, maybe slot 2, wherever there's going to be the majority of attacks coming from on the teams you run him on, such as movie bosses like we got him on now, transformation boost, definitely corroded body and mind. Like, both Janembas are crucial for that, and accelerated battle. You're going to be putting him in scenarios where he's going to be taking the brunt of all attacks anyway. So getting that attack plus 40% for 4 turns is incredibly easy, and you're going to be getting it active literally all the time, to the point where it's a domino effect. It's going to keep carrying over. You're going to constantly have the attack plus 40% at all times. So getting this Janemba at level 10 links is actually incredibly handy, because as I said, this EZA is quite old at this point, which means the damage isn't going to be up to the standard of a lot of other units in the game.
A few moments later.
So we now got this Janemba ready to transform. We've even got Turles on the rotation. We have lost, I'm pretty sure, the attack plus 40%, but we will get that back after this turn. Just didn't want to spend too long waiting for him to eventually transform and have every link active. But, you know, as I was saying, you know, with this EZA being so old, or being as old as it is, this is a transformation, by the way, I haven't seen in a hot minute. Like, I just don't use this Janemba. But with you know, with this unit being, or the EZA being as old as it is, having just over 3 mil is a very respectable attack stat. Not only that, getting him at level 10 links and getting all these, because the majority of these links do offer attack and defense. You know, getting him to level 10 is easily going to help such an older EZA, such an older unit perform just a little bit better and not appear potentially lackluster in like 2022 Dokkan. But now we have literally every single link active. We do have the support, 447k attacks, that 120k defense. We might actually have the extra 40%. I'm not going to lie, because as I said, the last 2 links he needs are literally, I'm pretty sure, were key links. They literally only offer key, defense plus 5 from shock, 5% from shocking speed, and fear and no. Fear and faith? It might have been fear and faith, which is all enemies minus 10% defense and key plus 2, which is not really a great link. But what we're looking at was some orbs picked up. 626k attack stat. I mean, it's still impressive. His actual numbers are still quite impressive. 4.4 mil. I mean, there you go. There you go. 4.4 mil. That's with support. So he's still putting out some pretty decent and reasonable numbers. So many years later after actually picking up his EZA. You know, I know they're not on the level of some units we've seen probably for the last like year. But there's some still pretty decent numbers. Considering the main reason why you would bring Janemba in harder events is pretty much for that guard. You know, the numbers in his passive are not, you know, they're nowhere near, you know, a lot of the numbers we see nowadays. He literally gets attack and defense plus 70%, and that is it. Literally, that is it. And then, of course, the additional attack plus 40% for 4 turns when guard is activated. That's literally all he gets. Even on super attack, he's not getting no attack and defense. He greatly lowers defense for what, like 1 turn? No, 50% for 3 turns, which is, it's okay. But the main reason why you're bringing this Janemba, I said, in any harder event is purely because of the guard and the evade. Because he's so good defensively. Even still, in today's Dokkan, he is still a very good defensive unit, especially on the categories he goes on. Movie bosses is a pretty good category. There's a few solid defensive units. Janemba's still one of the best. Transformation boost he could slot on quite nicely, especially with himself. Corroded Body and Mind, I mean, he's probably one of the key units to actually completing Corroded Body and Mind GT Goku event mission. And then Accelerated Battle. So even though when he only goes on a handful of categories, if you are doing a harder event in the game, he is crucial to be an integral defensive part of you completing one of them. So we're going to, of course, have a run with him, or not a run, but a rotation without the support now. 315k attack stat, 147k defense, all links active. Don't forget as well that is 147k defense with guard effective against, or not guard effective, but guard activated against all types. Give you all of them. He's now on a 540k attack stat, which is still pretty good. But I have to say, considering this EZA I think came out in what, 2019? He's still pretty good. As I said, the main reason why you're bringing him is purely for the guard. But the numbers he puts out, especially when linked to himself at level 10 links, they're respectable. 2.5 mil, that's probably because we don't have the 40%. You know, 40% without support, you're probably looking at like 4 mil, you know, around about that region. But as I said, the main reason why you would be bringing him is purely defensively. Purely for that guard and the evade. But he's still pretty good. He will definitely serve better or serve well having his links at level 10, giving him that kind of little bit extra attack boost that he lacks. You know, again, with the EZA being quite old at this point. So getting him level 10 links, you know, for a run that you may need him on is definitely going to be handy. You know, I mean, it's handy for every unit in the game. But, you know, a unit that won't be putting out the most impressive numbers at all times, it's definitely going to make a bit of a difference and probably come in handy to do some, you know, extra damage that he quite lacks. And then not only that, eventually when he does get a 200% lead on top of that, it's definitely going to give him a massive boost and make him a hell of a lot better. But he's still very viable in 2022, I'm not going to lie. And this EZA used to be one of the best probably when he came out, but he's still an OG defensively for what you're going to be bringing him for. But let me know what you think of him down in the comments. I'll see you next video, guys, and push.